House was in 1978, and he headlined here throughout the 80s. He went on to produce and write for television and the big screen for such places as NBC Universal, Paramount, the Discovery Channel, Disney, Warner Brothers, Comedy Central, and HBO. He's written material for Steve Martin, Robin Williams, and Monty Python, and went on to play slightly bigger venues such as the Hollywood Bowl and Carnegie Hall. Give it up for Peter Crabbe, everybody!
Ice House, God, 31 years ago I came out here for the very first time and performed. I feel like I'm going back to my kindergarten, you know? Guys, and you're all here too, all my kindergarten friends. Nice. And you know, I'm only going to be here for a short little period of time. I thought it would be fun to kind of get in the spirit of the retro thing and tell you about my first week here at the Ice House. The first time I came down and performed, I'm from San Francisco originally, and I came down here in 1978, and the shows ran from Tuesdays through Sundays. And the first time when I was an opening act, I opened for the middle act was a group called Granite and Carrazzo, and they're famous for their big closing bit, which was one of them stood on his head, and the other one held a piece of parquet floor over his feet, and he tap danced upside down. Yeah, that was the big middle act. But the headliner that week was David Letterman, and so my first week at the Ice House, I opened for David Letterman, and that following Monday, he was going to guest host The Tonight Show for the very first time. And so he took Sunday night off, and they had to get a substitute headliner for Sunday night, and they got Jay Leno. So, kind of ironic, but kind of a fun way to start your Ice House career as an opening act, opening for Letterman and Leno. I think you walk around for the rest of your life going, yeah, I've opened for those guys. No. But during the 1980s, I was a headliner here, and I had sort of a quasi-famous closing bit. And when Jan asked me to come on and do the week of 100 comics, he said, why don't you do your old closing bit from 1980 and just kind of do it retro. So we're going to pull out really old material here, 30 years old. Some of you probably were still, sperm in the sack at that time. But we're going to do it. Is there anybody who was living and alive and around Los Angeles in the year 1980 that is here tonight? Okay. All right. Well, then you can vouch for this, because this is kind of local humor. There was a guy on the radio here in LA in 1980, a guy named Tom Campbell. And he did stereo stores. There was a stereo store here in Los Angeles called Cal Stereo. And he was like the fastest talking DJ in the world. And he used to do these ads for Cal Stereo. And at the end of the ad, he would list off like 15 cities where the stores were located, right? And this is what it sounded like. This is an actual Tom Campbell Cal Stereo commercial. So set up the big deal for you here. So this is what the guy sounded like. He'd come out and he'd say, things were going great. And then we got caught with our pants down. Now we're going to blow it up to the bare walls and paint the tax on. Mr. Taxman, Cal Stereo says, no way! Cal Stereo, the lunch buy of home electronics in the entire LA area. Like California for that matter. Hurry to the Cal Stereo and see what's in store for you. Like receivers, speakers, turntables, tape decks, videotapers for the home. All the little factory invoice prices, all carrying Cal Stereo's unbelievable 2-year unlimited radio tea. Can ya believe it? Like the Harman Kardon 958. Wrigley price, $695. Cal Stereo's price, $99.95. Subject price sale, subject merchandise on hand. 31 at Cal Stereo's 15 community locations in Bellflower, Canoga Park, Garden Grove, Florence, West Virginia, West LA, San Bernardino, Hollywood, Pasadena, Whittier, City of Florence, Costa Mesa, Riverside, Monterey Park, and Upland. Easy financing available here. Good credit. Open at least 9 o'clock tonight. Where? Cal Stereo now. The big closing bit was, of course, is 1980, and I'd kind of say, well, what would happen if this guy, Tom Campbell, decided to run for president? 1980 being an election year. For those of you who are historians, it was like Carter, Kennedy, Reagan, Ford, all these people running for president. And instead of listing off, like he did a campaign ad, and instead of listing off the 15 cities where the stores are, he tried to list off all 50 states. Would he make it, or would he blow out his tongue at 250 miles an hour? So here we are, 30 years later. Let's see if the old tongue can still please. Here we go. Mr. Tom Campbell running for president. Flashback in 1980. Hey, who you voting for president in 1980? Carter, Kennedy, Reagan, Ford? No way, I'm not gonna let you. Hi, it's me, your friend Tom Campbell, and I'm running for president in 1980. That's right, me, Tom Campbell, and running for the Oval Office. Yeah, better believe it. And you ought to see the platform I have in store for you. ERA, human rights, energy packages for the home, all of the richest government loans, all can United States government approval. Can ya believe it? And that's only the beginning. Budget cuts galore, like military spending. The Carter administration, $600 billion. The Campbell administration, $99.95. Subject to Russian approval, subject to Russian invasion. So hurry and down and vote for me in one of 50 community locations in Arizona, Arkansas, Colorado, Kansas, California, Connecticut, Texas, Tennessee, Massachusetts, Maine, Maryland, Montana, Indiana, Louisiana, Alaska, Alabama, New York, New Mexico, New Hampshire, New Jersey, West Virginia, Georgia, Mississippi, Missouri, Iowa, Illinois, Idaho, Ohio, Oklahoma, Oregon, Nevada, Nebraska, North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota, Michigan, Washington, Wisconsin, Vermont, District of Columbia, Delaware, North Carolina, South Carolina, Kentucky, Virginia, Pennsylvania, Hawaii, Florida, Utah, Wyoming, and a new state opening in Puerto Rico. Tom Campbell, 1984. Check it out.